and welcome to your EVS class. I am your EVS teacher Ruchita Singh, and today we are going to start the new chapter, that is chapter number 17, British Rule and the First War of Independence. Kindly open your page number 101 of your EVS book and let's start the chapter. Children, as you can see, after completing the chapter, we learn about the causes and the effects of the First War of Independence, which happened in 1857. Then, children, we'll also learn about how the Britishers rose to power because it was our country and all of a sudden the Britishers start ruling our country. So how did they came to power? What was the cause of unrest during the British rule? And once the Britishers start ruling our country, then what happened which led to unrest, feeling of unrest among the British rule? It means what was the cause of unhappiness due to the British rule which led to the First War of Independence. So let's find out in this first part of the chapter. Children, we all know that India, our country, is in old time was known as Sone ki Chidiya. Why? Because of its rich heritage and natural resources. India enjoyed a flourishing trade with Europe in the ancient times. We all know, children, that our country is very rich in all the natural resources. So, we used to trade with other countries, and our spices, our silk, and cotton were very famous in European countries, and we used to trade with Europe through Red Sea. As you all know, children, that in old times the only means of communication was through water transport because rail, road and air was not possible for long distance. So, in order to do export and import with other countries, we use sea transport, and the sea was Red Sea, through which all the items were sent from India to Europe. Children, let's see the spices for which India was famous for. Till now, our country is very famous for all the spices, be it turmeric, chickpeas, cardamom, coriander, and all other spices. Then, our country was not only rich in spice making but also silk and cotton fabrics. Beautiful silk saris and silk dress materials were available in our country, and not only silk but cotton materials were also available in our country because of its rich natural resources which were not available in other country, and our country's product were in huge demand in European countries. European kings and queens liked our silk and cotton materials, and so they exported from our country through Red Sea. Till then, the things were going on very smoothly and there were no problems at all. And in India, children, at that time, the rule of Nawabs was going on. But what happened next? What led to the coming of Britishers in our country? Earlier, the trade was going on through Red Sea. As you can see, children, in the picture given in front of you, it's a Red Sea. Then moving further, we all know, children, that Vasco da Gama was an Portuguese explorer. ठीक है. And he used to, and who is an explorer? Explorer is a person who goes from one country to another and tries to explore new things, new routes available in other countries. So while doing his exploration, he came to India through sea route, ठीक है, from Africa. And he was a Portuguese explorer, and since he came to India through Africa, he explored a new route from Africa to India at a very low cost. Okay, children. So he opened new doors for Africa also to come to India for their trade. And due to the exploration of Vasco da Gama, many countries like the name of the countries are Portuguese, Dutch, French, Europeans, and Britishers. It opened the gate for trade to all these countries. They all started doing trade with India through the routes found by the Vasco da Gama. And this is the picture of a sea. You can see, children, through which the export was done from one country to another. So Vasco da Gama discovered a direct sea route to India from the lowest coast of Africa. And after the discovery of this new sea route, Europeans began sailing to India directly for trade. So children, what was the difference? Earlier, there was only one sea route, which was through Red Sea, and which took very long period of time, and only Europeans were aware of it. But later on, due to Vasco da Gama's exploration, many new countries started doing trade with India. Now, since they started doing trade with India, so there was stiff competition and rivalry among them, among these Portuguese, Dutch, French, Europeans, and British countries. And all of them started fighting for price. Since you all know, children, that there are many buyers and sellers, then the competition develops between them. And who was the winner of all the competition? Yes, you guessed it right. At the end, the British won the competition, and so Britishers came to India to start their trade in India. So out of all these countries, Portuguese, Dutch, French, Europeans, and British, only Britishers came to India and started doing trade freely in India. So they not only came to India, but they also started building their ports and maintaining their armies at their trading centers. So first they entered our country, and the Britishers told that they want to do trade with our country. Then they expanded their trade by building their own ports. They said that in order to expand their business, they want to build their own ports. And then after building their own ports, they also started build their armies तैयार करने लगे वो लोग. कौन लोग? Britishers लोग. They started building their own armies. And after that, what did they do? They not only started, but they attacked our country. They started living in our country, started trade in our country, and they attacked our country. And the first battle was known as Battle of Plassey. And it occurred in the year 1757, and where it occurred in Bengal. Right, children? So we can say that the first sign of change was Battle of Plassey, which occurred in 1757. in Bengal, where the battle was of British East India Company over the Nawab of Bengal. Okay? And this battle took place under the leadership of Robert Clive. So, first battle they won over Bengal. You can see, children, that's a picture of a battle of Plassey, which happened in 1757, where it happened in Bengal. So the Britishers started their trade with India in Bengal, and in return they built their own port and armies and attacked our own country, the Nawab of Bengal, and they won also. They won Bengal also. Then later on, children, one more battle they fought. They fought the Battle of Buxar, which took place in 1764, and where it took place in Bihar. Right, children? So, first battle was Battle of Plassey, which occurred in the year 1757, and after that, कितने साल बाद? After only 7 years. After 7 years, they fought another battle, and now they changed the place to Bihar. Okay? And now what they were doing? They were fighting battle from one place to another in India in order to establish British rule in the whole, all over country. They wanted to expand their rule in the whole of India, and they were very much successful in doing this act. So, children, let me tell you that first of all, you should remember that Britishers came to India after the discovery of sea route by Vasco da Gama, and then they settled. First of all, they settled in Bengal. There they started their trade, but they started building their port and armies, and they attacked. First attack was known as Battle of Plassey in Bengal, and then who was the winner? The British East India Company was the winner of that battle. And then second battle, which took place in Buxar in 1764 in Bihar, and again the winner was British East India Company. And after these two battles, the British East India Company expanded its routes to the whole of India for the next 200 years. So, children, can you imagine? It was our country which was very rich in all the natural resources. There were so many people, there were so many kings, queens, nawabs. Everyone was there, but the Britishers came and they expanded their rule, and not only for 1 or twice or 3 years, but for the whole 200 years, and that matters a lot. So, children, this was the first part of the chapter number 17. In the next part, we'll learn about what happened next, why the first war of independence took place, what was the reason of unrest among the king and nawabs, why were they angry on Britishers, what led to the first war of independence. So, children, watch the video once again, twice again, understand it, and read the chapter for your clear understanding. Thank you, children. Thank you so much for watching the video. This is the picture of Battle of Buxar, which took place in 1764 under the leadership of Robert Clive, and the result of this battle was the expansion of British rule to the whole of India for next 200 years. So, children, I hope you like the first part. Prepare the chapter well and read it for clear understanding. Thank you so much, children.